Hey there guys, I'm SonicGhost and welcome back to some more Let's Play Rayman 2 The Great Escape. Last time, we made our way through the rest of Minnow Hills after we gave Clark the Elixir of Life. And we also made our way through the canopy, being reunited with Glowbox and getting ourselves a new power. And in this episode, we're going to go ahead and jump into our next level here, Whale Bay. Now, Whale Bay here, I need to really talk about something in terms of the PC version, because this is where having a newer version of this game is going to differ compared to having the original PC release back from 1998. You see, on newer computers, this game has a bad compatibility issue, so if you're playing the original disc release of Rayman 2 on a newer computer with running something like Windows 7 or 8 or anything newer, you're going to be running into a major compatibility issue here where you'll get into this level, you're going to be doing some stuff here in the beginning, and then you're going to get an error from the game saying, "Disk cannot be read, please insert the disk." And even if you have the disk in here, it'll pop up with that error, making it unplayable. So you need to play a newer version of Rayman 2 in order to fix this, and that is why I'm playing the GOG version of Rayman 2. Because this version of the game fixed that compatibility issue where Whale Bay essentially just locks you out of the rest of the game. Right here you need to swap discs apparently according to the original release, even on your machine, but you can't because there's nothing to swap out. You're playing the right version, you're playing the right disc, but it'll lock you out. And it'll be right around this section where you get that error. Since I'm playing the GOG version, they fixed that issue, so this game is playable now on PC. And since the game is really cheap to get on GOG's site, that's why I always would recommend this version right away, because it's easy to get, easy to play, has no compatibility issues whatsoever at the current moment, and it's this purest version of Rayman 2, my honest opinion, since this is the version of Rayman 2 that didn't really have anything really that altered to it. This and the N64 version are the original releases of Rayman 2. Every other version after this has a lot of extra content or changes that either hinder the experience or just make it completely different. We got a big old pirate up there, so let's go ahead and take him down with some charge shots. One thing I did not mention about the charge shot last episode is you can't really use it if you're not locking on to something, so just hold down the lock on button and then hold down the punch button, or attack button I should say. I'm still thinking of newer Rayman logic when I say punch button. But just hold down that attack button when you have the lock on button held down, and you can go ahead and use charge shots. Like if I try to charge right here, I can't do it, but if I'm standing still or holding down that lock button, then I can go ahead and use a charge shot. So that's the only downside with this move, but you're going to be using it in combat anyways, where you're going to be locked onto an enemy, so it's really not that big of a deal. It's just, it's good to know about that. But you want to actually jump over to the ship here, as you'll be able to see that switch that's hidden in that wall, opening up this pathway over here. So let's go ahead and head through here. And now we gotta play a little bit of Donkey Kong. Gotta have some Donkey Kong action here in my Rayman 2. Then also get squished. I always get squished in this section. I don't know why, it's just I can never avoid getting squished here. It always happens, no matter what I do. But over here we got a pirate sleeping on the job, so let's see if we can go ahead and catch him by surprise. But first, let's go ahead and grab that lump, just get my health back. Alright, so let's go ahead, hold down that lock on button. Let's go ahead. Oh, we woke him up. Oh well. We almost had him, but we got at least half his health down before he really attacked us, so there's that. As you see right here, we can't really make that jump normally. It's too high. So we need to go ahead and grab this keg right here. I'm gonna go ahead and use this keg over here to destroy this wall, or I should say this door. Yeah, destroy the wall, why don't you? Well, you want to do that? Reveals this cage, if you can break it open, because apparently I can't. Once you break it open, you reveal a purple lump. So now we can go ahead and make our way up here. And, oh come on, really? The lump wasn't active yet? Well, that just made me look like an idiot. Try that again. There we go, we made it. Also, I should just go ahead and get this out of the way now. If you hear any kind of background noise from my mic, I have some work going on outside, so I can't really help that. So if there's any kind of noise like that come through the mic, I just want to apologize for that now. Hey Rayman, Carmen the whale is trapped. The pirates want to use her bubble to oil the engines of their pirate boat. Go help her, fast, before it's too late. Will do. So we need to go ahead and save Carmen. She's locked in a cage right below us, actually. So if we go ahead and dive down, we see Carmen there. She can't really get out because the electricity is kind of blocking her way. If she moves forward, that would probably kill her. So we need to go into here and save her. So let's just go ahead, surface once we get to the top here, jump down, and we will see this weird contraption. I'm not sure what that's for, but here's a switch right above where Carmen is. So we just hit this switch, we should free her. And then she also says to breathe, grab my air bubbles. So when we're underwater and we're running out of air, Carmen will drop air bubbles for us to use in order for us to survive for longer periods of time, which is really good. But we actually want to go ahead and ride this shell here, as once you hit that switch, the little contraption on the wall there will start spawning shells. You don't need to do this, but if you want to get all the lums and cages, then you will. Because you want to use that shell there to go all the way back to the entrance, because there's a door you need to use that shell in order to blow up, which grants you a cage. Also, this is a shortcut out, because you could go back out the way you came in, but if you grab that shell in order to go through the door, then it gives you a shortcut back to the surface, which makes things a lot easier. So these here are the bubbles that Carmen will drop for us. We collect one of these, and it's just like collecting one of the blue lumps. Gives us a little bit of air each time. So we're going to want to try to follow Carmen here as much as we can in order to make sure we don't drown. When we're into this little cave here, we actually could not make this trip if we didn't have Carmen. So we needed to free Carmen here before we made it over here, and this is a loading zone. So once we're further enough into the cave, then it'll load. Well, they were smart when they made this game, because they really put that loading zone far back into the cave. And why is my camera all screwed up? It's like pointing down to the floor where it really shouldn't be. It's so weird. But they were smart when they were developing this part of the level here, because they made that loading zone so far back into the cave that you needed Carmen to get here. If you didn't have Carmen, you wouldn't have enough air and you would drown. They were really smart when they made that part just because of that. Because I'm pretty sure if you didn't have Carmen and somehow got your way into this part of the level, then Carmen would just be here anyways, because that's how the game's programmed. So they were smart to put that loading zone so far back. Now we need to deal with these piranhas trying to steal Carmen's bubbles here. So every once in a while we'll see a piranha getting pretty close to the bubble. We just need to go ahead, swipe our hand a bit, and now scare it off. You can't kill the piranhas, but when you shoot your fists at them like this, that will essentially just scare them away. So you're going to want to be doing this from time to time just to make sure that they don't grab your air bubbles, and they will hurt you, so don't get too close to these guys. Hopefully a piranha doesn't grab this bubble. I've had times where I'm trying to get up to one of these bubbles, I don't see a piranha in sight, and then they just come out of nowhere stealing it. So you gotta keep your guard up in these sections here just because of how these guys act. Like that one I didn't see coming, he stole my bubble. I luckily don't need one right now, because if I was about ready to drown, then I'd be way more upset, but that's not the case. Let's go ahead and grab this bubble here. And I see it, Carmen. I don't even know what happened there, but Carmen really made her way around just to do a circle real fast. That's insane. Never seen Carmen move that fast in my life. But there was actually a little cave down here, so we want to go ahead and explore this before moving on, see if there's any lums here. Doesn't look like there's any actual lums, but there are red lums, so if you're low on health, come in here and you get a whole bunch of red lums. In other versions of Rayman 2, I believe, the PS2 version to be in particular, this area does have lums. I'm not sure if any other versions do, but if you're playing another version of Rayman 2, check this cave to be sure, since each version of Rayman 2 has a different set of lums they need to collect. And each level has a different amount too, so they kind of move lums around and they give more lums to levels or take lums away from some levels. Same for the cages, so just explore every nook and cranny if you're playing other versions of Rayman 2. Luckily in this version I don't really have to worry about that, as I'm familiar with... Okay, am I really stuck on nothing? Thanks, Rayman. I'm familiar with this version because I played through the N64 version. I've 100%ed that version twice. So I'm familiar with where the lums are in this game just because of that, since PC and N64 pretty much have the same lum locations and cages. Nothing's really moved around here, which is good. If this version had differences compared to the N64 version, then I would have just played that one. Right here, I want to go ahead, grab this purple lum, which is kind of hard to aim at in this angle. So I don't really care about the health. I don't care if I don't get it, which I probably won't at this rate. There we go, we made it. I really just care to get up here for this cage, granting me some more lums. That's really all I cared about. I'm at full health, so I don't need the chain of lums. Right over here, we want to go ahead and jump onto this running water section. And we want to go ahead and grab some of these while we're sliding, and of course I missed them. Luckily though, if you miss them, you can just go back over, and then just jump your way over. Or you could be like me and fall right off. You can actually just jump your way through that section, and if you use a helicopter there, because that's one of the only sliding sections in the game where you can actually use your helicopter. Because you're not going fast enough to essentially render that move completely useless. So here you can actually use your helicopter, and now I'll help you grab the lums. So I'll go ahead and demonstrate it once I get around the corner here. So I'll jump this edge right here, and as you can see I can use my helicopter, which stops my momentum. And now I'm just running, so that's how you get those lums if you can't really get them while sliding. Although once you do that, then you can't really slide again. It's really hard to reinitiate your sliding on that section. So at that point you just gotta make your way to the end just by jumping. But right down here, we want to go ahead and head into this little alcove, and we got ourselves the last few lums, and also this big dude. So let's just lean him off the edge just like we did in the previous level. I believe it was the bayou we found him in. And that's all the lums. And we got our final cage right here, so that's 100% for this level. So let's go, TT. Let's get out of here. Gonna wait for him like always. Wait a minute. Wait a minute, Teensy. You were just walking on air. Why? Why are these scenes just so weird, to say the least? I mean, he's not even dancing on the floor there. When he was dancing, I believe he was like a foot above the floor. Man, this Teensy. This one just doesn't want to, you know, follow the laws of physics. He just wants to float. But there you go. That's Whale Bay. 100% of that level. We're good to go. So this bonus level actually is the same bonus level as we ran into the first time we ran into these set of bonuses. So just like always, I'm just going to skip to the end. But with that said, let's go ahead and get this started. Not exactly sure why of all bonus levels, this one they decide to revert back to the original one and not keep the difficulty that we had previously, but here they kind of downscale it and go back to the first bonus. It's kind of weird, but let's just go ahead and get out of here. And with that, let's go ahead and save our game like always. And we are ready to go to our next sanctuary here, the Sanctuary of Stone and Fire. So with that said, I'm going to end it here, because the next time we meet, we're going to be going through the longest sanctuary and by far the longest level in Rayman 2. So get prepared for a meaty part the next time we meet. Next time on Let's Play Rayman 2 The Great Escape, we'll make our way through the Sanctuary of Stone and Fire and hopefully find our second mask. I'll see you guys next time.